This week, President Donald Trump is at the center of two explosive stories that could reshape America's role on the world stage. First, he's slamming a federal court for striking down his signature tariffs, calling it a political attack and urging the Supreme Court to act fast. Second, the US is cracking down on Chinese students, revoking visas in a move that sparked outrage and fear. These aren't just policy decisions, they're high-stakes gambles with global consequences. On May 28, 2025, the U.S. Court of International Trade dropped a bombshell ruling that President Trump's sweeping tariffs on imports from dozens of countries were unlawful. The court argued that Trump overstepped his authority under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEEPA, which is meant for national emergencies, not broad trade policies. This decision, reported by Fox News, could unravel Trump's America First trade agenda, which aims to protect U.S. jobs and reduce trade deficits. Trump didn't hold back. On Truth Social, he blasted the ruling as political and questioned the judge's motives, writing, "Where do these judges come from? Is it purely hatred of Trump?" He called on the Supreme Court to reverse what he called a horrible, country-threatening decision. Notably, one of the judges, Timothy Rife, was a Trump appointee, adding a layer of irony to his outrage. The economic stakes are massive. Trump's tariffs, targeting countries like China, Canada, and Mexico, have already raised prices for American consumers by an estimated $200 billion a year, according to the New York Times. But Trump argues they're essential to bring manufacturing jobs back home. Critics, including Oregon's Attorney General Dan Rayfield, call them reckless and economically devastating, warning of retaliatory tariffs from trading partners worth $250 billion. The Justice Department has appealed the ruling, setting the stage for a Supreme Court showdown that could redefine presidential power over trade. Now let's shift gears to another headline-grabbing move: the U.S. decision to revoke visas for Chinese students. On May 28, 2025, Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced that the State Department would aggressively revoke visas for students with ties to the Chinese Communist Party or those studying in critical fields like technology and engineering. This policy, reported by Reuters, is part of Trump's broader immigration crackdown and has sent shockwaves through U.S. universities. Chinese students, who number over 277,000 in the U.S., are reeling. Many took to social media, with one student posting on RedNote, "This is a disaster out of nowhere. It's unfair to us." Universities, which rely on international students for billions in tuition revenue, are equally alarmed. A university president told NPR, "This could devastate our ability to attract global talent." The Chinese government fired back, calling the ban political and discriminatory and lodging a formal protest per The Guardian. The Trump administration defends the move as a national security necessity, citing concerns about espionage and intellectual property theft. But critics, including Asian American advocacy groups, warn of racial profiling and a chilling effect on academic freedom. Some fear this could push top talent to countries like Canada or Australia, weakening America's innovation edge. These stories may seem worlds apart, one about trade, the other about immigration, but they're two sides of the same coin. Trump's America First agenda. The tariff battle is about economic sovereignty, protecting U.S. industries from foreign competition. The visa ban is about safeguarding national security and intellectual property. Together, they reflect Trump's vision of a more self-reliant America, less dependent on global trade and foreign talent. But the risks are steep. The tariff ruling, if upheld, could limit presidential power and embolden Congress to reclaim its role in trade policy per Politico. It could also lead to a flood of cheaper imports, benefiting consumers but hurting domestic producers. Meanwhile, the visa ban threatens to alienate a key demographic, with Axios estimating a potential $15 billion loss for U.S. universities. China's likely retaliation could further strain U.S.-China relations, already tense over trade and technology disputes. On X, reactions are polarized. Some users praise Trump's tough stance, with one posting, "Finally, someone's protecting America's interests." Others warn of economic chaos and a brain drain, with a user noting, "This visa ban will send our best minds to Canada." The global community is watching closely, with European allies and trading partners bracing for the fallout of a potential trade war. Trump's tariff showdown and the China visa ban are defining moments in his second term, testing his ability to balance bold leadership with global realities. As the Supreme Court weighs in and universities grapple with the visa fallout, the world awaits the next chapter. Will these moves strengthen America's position or lead to isolation and economic turmoil? Stay tuned to the Americanish Zone for updates on this unfolding saga. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth global news.